What's going on, everybody? Joe at the Big Sky Model Workshop. I'm late. I know I'm late, but I'm still here. It's still Sunday. We're going to do a Sunday evening model cars and coffee, hosted by Paul, of course, at Left Coast Model Car Builds, my good friend, great ambassador to this hobby. His entire family is a group of very talented builders, all very enthusiastic for the hobby, which you guys need to check out his channel if you haven't already. Of course, I will have him tagged in the title of the video. But please, stop by, tell Paul you said hi. Be glad you stopped by and glad to give him the support. So, what we've got behind me here is the final for a couple of group builds. This is for Pat over at Card Scale Dreams off-road group build, which goes through the end of the year. This one also is part of the Burgers and Beer group build, which is hosted by Tim Nolan over at Daddy Studios, and Mike at the intake. Mike, good to see you back, buddy. Keep taking care of yourself. The Burgers and Beer group build goes, I believe, through March. Red, white, or blue. This is going to fit that bill as well. It's about as American gets. It's a Chevy pickup. This one here is a replica of a pickup I actually owned about 27 years ago now. So I got a few stories. It's kind of fitting that this truck has fought me and kind of been a disaster in some areas, because in real life, the pickup was the exact same way. So I will turn the camera around. I will give you guys a peek at this and I will tell you about it. Let me give you the backstory. So it's 1998. It's the summer of 1998. I am 20 years old. I am the manager of the fast lube in town, and I am on the top of the world, or so I thought. Got a ton of disposable income. I'm driving a purple 98 Dodge Dakota that I ordered brand new and just picked up not 5 or 6 months prior to this. So really not making a lot of smart choices here. You guys will see a theme with this. We get into this July and I meet a girl and start dating and doing stuff. And we would normally go from here to the bigger town to the northwest of me, Great Falls, Montana, and goof off on a Saturday. I would pick her up. She lived in a town in between here and there. And I'd pick her up and we'd go to Great Falls. We'd go eat. We'd dink around at the mall or whatever. So we're driving around and I see at one of the dealerships sitting in the front row this 83 Chevy Silverado short box 4-wheel drive. Beautiful square body. I had always wanted a short box square body. I had, in high school, I had a 79 GMC long bed, which, another story for another time, but I always wanted a short bed. So we go, we look at it. I'm trying to show off. Mind you, we're still only been dating a few, not a whole long time, a couple months maybe. And I thought, I got money. We'll go look at this thing. And so we drove it. And I bought it, which was stupid because now I have 2 truck payments. I still don't pay rent. I have a brand new Dodge Dakota that I'm making a payment on. And this thing, I am literally going to tie up one payment or one paycheck a month in vehicle payments, which is absolutely stupid. It gets worse from there. So I'm going to turn this around. You guys will see the finished product, and I will tell you a few stories of the disaster that was this pickup. So hang on. So, without further ado, with a few aftermarket parts and some fun along the way, I was able to convert this MPC Deserter GMC into this right here. Let's move the camera a little closer. So what I've got here is a replica of my 1983 Chevy Silverado. So, we'll start off. I bought this pickup. I drove it home, we drove it back. My girlfriend is now driving my Dakota and I am driving this home. We're going to pluck the warped hood off of it so you guys can see under hood here. And what happens to me in this instance, as we are driving this thing back, it starts to get hot. And the engine gets cooked before I make it back to her parents' place midway back. So, what I've got here under hood is a replica of the engine we had put in it. So what happened was we got it back to town. I called the dealership. I let them know what happened. They give me 2 options. I can either trailer the truck back to Great Falls, they will give me my money back and they will wholesale it. The other option is, if I'm willing to have someone do the work, they will get me another engine to put in the pickup. Now, mind you, when I bought this pickup, it had a blue painted small block Chevy under the hood with a Wyand high-rise single intake on it. I thought, man, and it sounded pretty good. So I said, oh, we'll swap those parts over, and that's what we'll do. So they call one of the machine shops in town to build them a 350 crate engine, and we pull the engine out of this that following week, and I cannonball up to Great Falls one evening. This is back when Montana still didn't have a speed limit, reasonable and prudent. Did 105 miles an hour most of the way up, had to dynamite the brakes to make a stop. The engine that was in the back of my pickup slid forward and caved the front of the bed of my brand new 98 Dakota. Should have been an omen. We get engine swapped, we get back to town, so we get the engine put in. So what you see here is a replica of what we had when that was done. We took this GM 350 that they had rebuilt for us, and we put the Edelbrock power package on it. So we put the Edelbrock intake, the Edelbrock performer cam, the valve covers, the air cleaner, and the carburetor on it. We still ran the cast manifolds and put everything together that way. So the engine you see here is the stock kit engine with a VCG Resins weekend wrencher kit. And so that's got these awesome Edelbrock valve covers, this intake manifold, there's an Edelbrock carburetor underneath the air cleaner, and then I have a Texas 3D Customs HEI distributor up here, and then I've got plug wires and boots done on it. Nothing else too fancy there. So we get an engine in it, get it running. Now, if things get more messed up, they also cut us a check for labor for swapping the engine out. Cash that check, and then we get a phone call back. It turns out, whether the machine shop was trying to pull a fast one or what, they claim that the engine I took back to them was a 305. They sent me a 350. So the money I got to do the labor work that was already halfway spent on Go Fast goodies, I had to give them back. So we're doing great. So the pickup itself here, I've got tires and wheels on the build here. Tires and wheels came from Fireball Model Works. Highly recommend these. They are beautiful. These are the BF Goodrich 31 1050 15s with the wheels. The trim rings and the center caps are separate. Wheels are painted in Tamiya TS30 Silver Leaf. The trim rings, center caps are painted with Revell Chrome. Not bad. I made my own side trim out of 40 thousandths evergreen half round stock, glued that all the way along the body, and then it's highlighted basically with Sharpie. These came off of eBay. I got a kit that netted me a front bumper, a tailgate trim, and the side emblems. And by the time we got done with all of that, the only thing I could use out of the entire bloody thing was these side emblems. Awesome, right? So, continuing on around the build here. Side trim, got all that done. Back here, the thing also came with tailgate trim. I broke it. As I was trying to sand it down to fit better, I broke it. So I had to take the stock kit one, strip the chrome, sand the GMC off, painted this in TS30 Silver Leaf, and glued that back on. Thank you, Will, at Red Hill Rod and Custom. I'm almost out of these Big Sky license plates. It's just the kit rear bumper, close enough to what I had. As you can see, one of the things with this kit is nothing fits quite right. The tires stick way out on this side, but not on the other. I had to modify the suspension from this. The Deserter kit comes with a big lift kit. I had to take that lift kit out, get everything settled down, had to adjust the drive shaft a little bit. You know, all kinds of schmutz on my base. I'm sorry, guys. This is awful. But anyway, so paint is Scale Finishes. This is just plain 817 white over gray primer. That was the truck, was just plain white. The front bumper from this angle doesn't look too terrible, and I'm glad. You can kind of see right here. So the front bumper that came with my resin 3D printed stuff ended up being, just would not fit. No matter what I tried to do, I could not get it to sit right. And I pre-fitted it before I painted everything. So I don't know what I did. Suffice to say, I finally just said the heck with it. I took the kit bumper and I filled in the turn signals as best I could and then painted this in Revell Chrome, which then I managed to fog up trying to glue it on. So I finished it in some Fusion Firm where my thumbprints were. Front plate here comes from Mike at Best Model Car Parts off of eBay. It's just a Heartbeat of America one there. The grill came from Iceman Collections, and it's got, I don't know what I did, guys, but it's got a smile. And I tried to soak it in hot water. I did everything I could think of to try to get the smile out of it, and I could not get the smile out of it all the way, and I finally just said to heck with it. There it's going to be. It's going to smile at me, whatever. So there we go. That's what we've got for the grill, but it is the correct 83 to 84 Chevy grill, and it looks decent. So now we'll fast forward a little bit on this. So the truck I loved. The girl, not so much. And she was a lot harder to get rid of than the truck. So very tumultuous time in my life. I learned a lot of very hard life lessons. One of the next of those was learning about towing. So this truck has the step type bumper, mine did not. So I had decided in my mind later that year, that fall, that I would see if I could consign the Dakota. We load it on my car trailer and we haul it down to Billings, Montana, and we take it to a couple dealerships to see if we can consign it. I'm not smart enough to call and ask and send pictures, mind you. Nobody really wanted to cut me a fair deal on it, so I am trailering that truck down the busiest street in Billings, Montana. A vehicle cuts me off, I dynamite the brakes, and the frame hitch that was on the truck shears two of the bolts. The hitch breaks off the frame, the trailer goes underneath the back of the truck, and the front of my Dakota misses the back bumper by inches. I am now sitting half jackknifed with the trailer nosed into the pavement with a Dodge Dakota on it, and this pickup, 4 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon in Billings, Montana, late summer. Embarrassing doesn't even begin to start to cover how things went. Fortunately, we were within a half block of a fire station. They blocked the road. They grab my trailer, they drag it, and they go put it in their parking lot. I, tail between my legs, drove this truck all the way back home to Lewistown, 130 miles, grabbed my dad's Ford short box, came all the way back, grabbed the Dakota and the trailer, went back to Lewistown that night because the next morning, dumb old me wanted to hook up the race car and take it back down to Billings to race a bump and run race on Sunday afternoon. You guys are seeing a pattern here. Me and good choices we weren't syncing up very well. I digress here. The interior of the truck is the stock kit interior. It is painted with Krylon Shortcuts dark blue, and then it is covered with a matte clear. I did do flocking to the carpet and to the face of the seat because I had the cloth type seat. You can kind of see inside here, I did add a gear shift lever that I made out of just a straight pin, and I detail painted the gauges. Not much else to speak of in the interior. The seat is from Lucas C Products. It is a bench seat. It is a resin copy of the one that was in the MPC 78 Chevy pickup kit. Fits really well. Turned out all right. So anyway, so there's the story of the pickup and the build. Underneath, nothing to write home about. It's box stock. It's all painted black primer. The exhaust is painted in silver leaf, and it's just the stock kit exhaust. Mine, I think, exited out with tailpipes just right behind the box side, and so that's close enough for what it's going to do. One thing to note, if anybody out there is industrious and wanting to do some resin printing, 3D printing, or resin casting or something, I don't know if you guys can see these door panels. They are correct for a 73 to 80. They are not correct for an 81 to 87 Chevy pickup. So if you want to build a perfectly 100% correct replica of an 81 to 87, you got some work to do on the door panels. But if somebody is industrious out there, wants to print a tub or do some resin casting, there's an idea for you. Just going to throw that one out there. The hood on this thing fits horribly. It it's warped. I tried to straighten it back out. It's warped. It is what it is. All in all, I had greater expectations. When you guys watch like an Instagram video or a TikTok video where somebody makes a beautiful cake or a cookie, and then you see the fail videos. That's kind of what this thing feels like to me. I don't know. It looks okay. I just, I don't know. But anyway, so to finish the story on the pickup, the pickup ends up getting repossessed later on this fall. I end up getting this girl. Well, I got her pregnant. Instead of getting away from her, I ended up locked in for the next 5 years of my life with her. I end up having to have this pickup voluntarily repossessed. I got to drive it back to Great Falls and park it at the bank across from the dealership. The Dakota basically, I had a guy buy my Dakota in exchange for me buying his Bronco because I now needed something to fit a car seat, and so and so and so forth. So there's the story of the pickup, and you can tell I made a lot of bad choices. I mean, it was a cool pickup. It sounded great. It was a lot of fun. Learned my lesson on a few things in life with that pickup. I don't know where it is today. I hope whoever has it enjoys the heck out of it, because, man, it ran great. It was a runner. So, I mean, 700 R4 behind roughly 275 horsepower worth of 350 and 373 gears, and it would bark tires, and it was just a sharp looking pickup. So there you have it, guys. There is my build. There is the story that goes along with it. I hope I touched on everything. If not, make sure to hit me up in the comments, and I can tell you where I either got parts or what I did to make something work. Hope you guys liked the build. Yeah. Oh, engine is painted with Scale Finishes GM Engine Blue, which is what we used originally. Chassis is all painted with Surfacer, Mr. Surfacer Black, and all my details are either done with Sharpie or a Molotow pen, or I used AK's pens. I did an AK rubber black on the windshield and back molding, and flat black around the vent window moldings. So I think that'll cover it. I've been rambling for quite a bit here, guys. Let me turn this thing around. Hang on. So sorry for such a long video, guys. I know this one's going to ramble a bit, but there you have it. There's my 83 Chevy Short Box, which is part of the off-road group build. It is a four-wheel drive. Sorry, I didn't mean to bounce around there. So it is, in fact, a four-wheel drive, part-time, had hubs. I never really got to drive it off-road much except for in the muddy infields of where we were dragging race cars and stuff like that. But hopefully that still counts, Pat. I mean, it could have gone off-road. It would have been fun to take and play in the snow. I just never got the chance. So, white and blue. I didn't really have any red in there, but it's Chevy. I mean, how much more American can you get than an old Chevy pickup with a dumb old 20-year-old kid learning life the hard way? Bless my parents for just shaking their head and letting me learn my lessons. So life is much better now. I have a beautiful, wonderful wife I've had for a long time who is amazingly supportive to me, and life goes on. So with that, I'm going to get out of here. This is a long video. I apologize, but hope you guys like the build. I really do. Thanks for watching. Thank you for everything you do. Thanks, Paul, for hosting Sunday evening model cars. Thank you, Pat, for hosting the off-road group build. You guys go check out his channel. Thank you, Tim and Mike, as well, for hosting the burgers and beer group build and for letting me double dip here. I really do appreciate that. So, guys, I'm going to get out of your hair here. I'll have sponsors listed, folks that I got things from. I'll have the channels listed so you guys can go jump into some group builds. Hope you had a great weekend, and let's gear up for another week and hope everything goes well. God bless you. I'll catch you on the next one. Here we go again.